So without further ado, I'd like to bring up to the podium none other than Javonte Tank Davis.
How y'all doing today? Thanks for having me. January 14th, I get my shot. 22, 16-0, 15 knockouts. It's amazing. You know, I know Joseph Pedraza is a great fighter. You know, I'm a great fighter. People going to say he had more experience. You know, but coming from my amateur background, you know, 206 wins, 15 losses. You know, over 20 belts. You know, won a lot of nationals. It's nothing Pedraza can bring to the ring. I've been battle tested, you know, in the ring, outside the ring, you know. January 14th, I'm definitely coming home with that belt. You know, he gonna have to kill me. Or Ambulance gonna have to pick me up. Something gotta happen, because I'll definitely be coming home with that belt.
What's going on, boxing fans? It's your boy DC Boxing TV here with another video, and today we'll be getting into a special one of my favorites, and it will be on my GOAT, Javonte Tank Davis. Today we'll be going over on why Javonte Tank Davis receives so much hate here in the lightweight division of 135 pounds. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, hate it or love it, Javonte Tank Davis is the most hated / love fighter of this generation, and I'll tell you guys why. Going back a little bit in 2017, Javonte Tank Davis had his first shot to go up and win his first title against Jose Pedraza. It put him on the map. It showed how dangerous Javonte Tank Davis' hands actually were. Jose Pedraza, great fighter. He showed up willing to put it all on the line, but that night Javonte Tank Davis had other plans. If you guys aren't familiar with the champion himself, Tank Davis sits at 29-0. Of course you guys know that. He has a tremendous amount of power when it comes to those fights, and just seeing exactly, you know, how fast and how good he gets down in that ring. What more can you say? Javonte Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia, he kind of bullied his way through that whole fight. That fight actually showed us how much skill Javonte Tank Davis actually has and how much he truly possesses. You know, a lot of people thought that fight was gonna go totally different. You know, of course we didn't get an insane knockout like against great fighter himself, Santa Cruz, that went down October 31st of 2020, but it was still something to see. Going back on to why I feel like Tank Davis is hated, beating Pedraza back in 2017 at the Barclays Center in New York, it put Davis on the map to be great. A lot of controversy went up against Javonte Tank Davis being in this fight, him being so young at the age of 22, Mayweather and his team believing in Javonte Tank Davis at that time. It kind of put a lot of the fighters in a position where they dared to be great. Of course you guys know Devin Haney became undisputed at a very young age, at the age of 24 if I'm not mistaken, and he became the youngest undisputed champion at the lightweight division. Now I say that saying this, do I consider Devin Haney a true undisputed champion? On the books, on paper, yes. As a real actual boxing fan, seeing him take people down, you know, like the likes of Errol Spence, you know, even Canelo, no. Because we only seen Devin Haney go up against George Kambosos for those belts, even though he's making his way down his list. Of course you guys know he just beat Vasily Lomachenko, and that fight was pretty good, but at the same time, you know, a lot of people felt like that fight played against Devin Haney, and I was one of the ones that felt like it played against Devin Haney. To be honest, I was surprised he won. But back to Javonte Tank Davis on why he's so hated. Yeah, it kind of put a lot of the lightweight fighters in a frenzy. You know, it put a lot of them in a position where they wanted the big fights. You know, seeing Tank Davis take control of his career, even though he was up under Floyd Mayweather at the time, it was something to see born into light. Of course, you guys know with GTD, that fight with Rolly Romero was the first fight. We really just didn't see too much of Floyd being around. And we felt like also when he fought against Hector Garcia, that was another fight where, Floyd Mayweather wanted to take the training wheels off of Tank Davis. But when we seen him up against Ryan Garcia, we seen Floyd Mayweather in attendance. So it just goes to show that, the team has a way of showing these fighters tough love, the promoters, the fighters, everything that goes into it. With Javonte Tank Davis in that knockout record, putting them at 29-0, it makes a lot of people, think like, am I next? Of course, a lot of people feel as if they have a big advantage over Tank once they get in the ring or once they see him during press conference. I don't know if it's because of the height advantage, the reach advantage, I don't know, but it never really plays a major part when the fight actually occurs. Of course, you guys know Javonte Tank Davis possesses a crazy amount of knockout power. He's a three division weight class division champion, and he does what he's supposed to do when he gets in the ring. Tank Davis is also going through one of the biggest obstacles in his career. Of course, you guys know about the 90-day house detention that he was going through, that they claim he violated, that he's having to spend the rest of those days behind bars. But it's not going to be any different once Javonte Tank Davis gets back out and show people the reason he is great, like he is. Coming from Baltimore, Maryland, I can just tell you this, coming from the inner city myself, of a place being very rough, kind of understand exactly why certain youth or certain people of this era look up to Javonte Tank Davis for inspiration. He reminds us of us, and we all make mistakes, and he's no different. So once he gets out, he'll get right back to being hated by some of the biggest haters in the game. Tim Bradley, we can't forget about him. He always has something to say about Javonte Tank Davis. Play the video.
Tank recently tweeted out some stuff about you. How personal did you take that?
It's not personal. Everybody has their opinion. It's not personal. I just don't. I don't like the guy because of that. I just don't like the guy for what I hear and what I see. I think he's a piece of shit. I honestly do. He's a piece of shit. You put your hand on women like that, bro. You're a piece of shit in my book, bro. You're not a man. My dad always told me, you're a coward. You do something like that. You a coward. Deep down inside, you a coward. Because you got to pick on somebody that can't even defend themselves. Bro, that's not right. And I don't care about the what happened and all the whatever he's saying afterwards, and she did this and she did that. Boy, you got enough money to go buy so many toothbrushes. So you can buy a toothbrush company probably, all the money you got.
Yeah, you get the slick shots from Bill Haney. Play the video.
Way and all that, trying to rally people in, man. Get out of here. Hey, what Tank little fat ass wear when he come up here? I know y'all deal with him. What is little fat ass wear? Tank? Tank? Guarantee his little fat ass wear 38. Yeah, Tank. Yeah, we know where you shop at, Nicky. We know where you shop at. Hey, listen, ain't nobody scared of you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I know Tank. I don't know. He spend a lot of money with it. He wears 38, so you told me already. He wears 38s. No, he wears, huh?
So yeah, man, it's a lot of things you can say about Javonte Tank Davis and why they hate him. But the most part, I feel as if they hate him is because he sets the bar so high. You know, a lot of people try to say, oh, Javonte doesn't possess this skill that he claimed he has, but every time he gets in the ring, he displays a certain fighting skill that we've never really just been introduced to. You know, it looks pretty good. It's something other than Floyd, and it's something other than Mike Tyson. It's kind of like the whole package. But at the same time, it's a stretch, you know, because they say things like, well, Shakur Stevenson, what about Shakur? He's a great fighter. He can beat Tank, you know, and we're not going to say none of these fighters can't, because in the sport of boxing, in the fight game, we all know anything can happen in the sport of boxing. But do I give the advantage to Shakur or Tank? I give it to Tank all day. Tank is a machine, man. You know, that 5'5" with that 6'7" reach span, I don't know, man. It's like a certain power he possesses, man. And when he gets in that ring, he doesn't hold back. You know, he goes all the way. You know, it's a lot of fighters that I wish that he could have faced in the later era, you know, right around the Floyd era, you know, but you know, this era right here is just as tough. You know, we haven't seen him up against the likes of Vasily Lomachenko yet. Teofimo, you know, we got to get him. We definitely got to get him. He's one of the people that I feel as if has a certain hate for Javonte. You know, you not say hate, but jealousy. You know, he's a jealous individual, just like Devin Haney and Bill Haney. You know, those guys really wish they could possibly be Gervonta Tank Davis, which they will never be the GTD family. Going back to why Gervonta Tank Davis is the most hated, I mean, look at his coach. You know, he has one of the best coaches in the fight game to this day, Coach Calvin, and you can't get past him with that BS. You know what I mean? You can't BS a BSer. You know, that's all day. But, you know, I can give some reasons why people love Tank as well. You know, when Tank get in the ring, he displays a great show. You know, you just don't come in there and see just that. You know, like with Pitbull Cruz, you know, that fight went the whole 12 rounds, and I can't tell you how entertaining and exciting that fight was. You know, with him going those rounds, you know, in those later rounds, seeing him explode, seeing him go off, and you know, really regaining his confidence, and you know, going through his obstacles and understanding that he needs to maintain a calm, he needs to remain calm as he comes into that fight. And you know, he won. So you know, it's just one of those things where I just can't put my finger on why they hate Gervonta Tank Davis so much, but I just gave you guys majority of the reasons why. You know, he sets the bar high, man. You know, he's getting these big payout, these big paydays, and he's going up in there, and he's going up against some tough fighters, you know. Not saying that, you know, none of the other fighters can't beat these guys, but, you know, just make it make sense, you know what I mean? You know, sooner or later, those guys will be welterweights. Tank Davis that's just his weight class, man. You know, 130 pounds to 135 pounds, maybe 140 pounds, you know? So, you know, people just want to see some of the most just glamboyant things in the sport of boxing, man. You know, come on, man. You know, make it make sense. It's never been about the titles. Obviously, as you can see, you know, Gervonta Tank Davis has dropped his titles due to weight, you know, due to just the sanctioning bodies and how much they charge, you know, once you actually put these titles on the line to go up against fighters. So yeah, he's a prize fighter for a reason. And with that prize fighter thing, that is also another reason why they could possibly hate Gervonta Tank Davis. You got these other fighters, you know, with not too much control of their own careers. You know what I mean? They're signed to certain promoters that we don't feel as if they always get the fair end of the stick, but it looks like they make it work, Devin Haney. So yeah, man, you just gotta do your research for yourself. But all I can do is bring you guys the inside scoop on how I feel about Javonte Tank Davis and why I feel like he's the most hated in the 135-pound division. You know, a lot of people say they want to fight. A lot of people say they want to do this, they want to do that. But for the most part, only thing we see is paydays, and his list is steady growing. Next, I wish we can get that boy Devin Haney out of here. Then after Devin Haney, I wish we can go up against T.O. But before we get to Devin Haney, I'll take T.O. You know, before we get to Devin Haney, I'll take T.O. Maybe Pitbull, you know. But Devin Haney, he has to be touched. If I can get that WBA off of him, that'd be cool, Javonte. You know, we can take that off of him and we'll drop the belts. You know, hold the belts. Because we never wanted those anyway. You know what I mean? Shakur Stevenson, we already been calling you out. Obviously, as you can see, Tank is just taking the knee. You know, he's just working hard, brainstorming, taking a little time out, which he really needs. You know, I wish it wasn't in that condition, but at the same time, he's a man. And if you know, like I know, it's a small thing to a giant. You know, only gonna get bigger from here. If you're a fan, keep supporting him and don't keep listening to the stories of, you know, oh, he's not good as he claimed to be. Oh, he's just a one trick pony. You know, he's a cherry picker. You know, let them say what they want to say. Floyd Mayweather once said he's a prize fighter. You know what I'm saying? He don't fight for the goddamn belts. He fight for money. Javonte Tank Davis is the best at 135 pounds. I got another video coming soon for you guys on Earl Spence versus T-Bud. I'll be breaking down the press conference. And yeah, man, just stay tuned. But until the next time, it's your boy DC Boxing TV. And we're out until the next round.
2 belts. Sometimes I want 3, sometimes I want 4. Or you can say you want 50 million or 60 million and have no belts. Fuck a belt. Because they collect dust. I don't know what my belt's at. I don't know what my belt's at. I know where them checks at.